You know how much I love the heat, but the heat doesn't always agree with some people, unfortunately.
Exactly. In the summertime, there could be heat advisories, and some folks follow the whip-up globe temperature, but now there is a new product by the Weather Service that will be a better assessment of how it feels outside geographically across the country. And let me share some information about that with you right now. So this new heat assessment risk by the National Weather Service, and they partnered with the Center for Disease Control, separates the risks into a yellow, orange, red, and magenta color based on the combination of heat and humidity and how it impacts the body, especially the elderly, those with asthma, and athletes. Now, here is a hypothetical situation. Let's say we forecast on June 1st locally a low temperature of 64 and a high temperature of 82. A low of 64 degrees is in the top 95% of the warmest minimum temperatures for that date, and a high of 82 is also in the top 95% of the warmest maximum temperatures for June 1st. Now let's say that we are coming off of a cool stretch of weather. So the scenario is we are coming out of a cool stretch into the first heat of the season, not necessarily a heat wave, but the first surge of very warm temperatures. So the impact across the region will be a little bit more grueling than if this was to occur, let's say, in the middle of July. So based on this assessment, as we go to the next slide showing you the heat risk categories, what normally might be in the middle of July, a level 1, might be a level 2 or a level 3 in the first part of June. Now, it's a different climate once you get east of the Appalachians. So let's show you the DC categories, for example. This assessment is different because their records are well into the lower 100s. So the red category is at a higher threshold in Washington, D.C. So this particular heat risk assessment is valid for each part of the country. So if you're traveling this summer, you can get an idea where the heat risk is a little bit elevated. The National Weather Service has partnered with the Center for Disease Control Prevention to devise this. And basically the minimum threshold, that yellow threshold, it basically means one person has passed away because at that minimum temperature. So that defines the base of these heat categories. Here's a sample heat risk, and this is for Monday because we are expecting very warm temperatures. So we're in the yellow category in parts of Virginia and the DC area, but in Texas we're actually in the next elevated category with the warmer temperatures. So this is an example of how this is going to be very useful going through the summer season. And as we look at the Northwest assessment here, this was based on a heat wave in 2021. Temperatures were the warmest in the homes without air conditioning between 9 and 11 p.m. Most deaths occurred in non-air conditioned homes. So keep that in mind this summer, that your temperature in the house will be the warmest in the evening if you do not have air conditioning. Now, stay tuned on the website and we will have more information with regards to when we expect our risk to be the highest this summer. Chief Meteorologist Chad Merrill for Newswatch.